James Gunn and fans have been interacting online since he joined the team to take over DC filmmaking. Gunn is attempting to share his future plans for all DC franchises moving forward. In early November, James Gunn, along with Peter Safran, took over DC Studios and started making their changes. Henry Cavill, along with many other actors of the former DCEU films from Zack Snyder's universe, are now gone. And it looks like James Gunn is facing his own fair share of backlash from fans online. It's been departures like Dwayne Johnson from the Black Adam project in the future that leaves fans a little skeptical of the plans from James Gunn. How does Gunn exactly want to relaunch the DCU? He might be going back to square one in the comic books. He's been going back and forth with fans on social media as well, answering all questions. Despite the rapid changes, you have to respect the man for coming out and taking questions from the fans online, sometimes taking some of the biggest insults too. We have some new details on the future plans for DC characters. Variety magazine released a story covering some of the recent departures from DC Studios. The main focus was around Dwayne Johnson and his waning DC influence, leading up to the release of Black Adam. Safran and Gunn have gotten to a rocky start with fans, but their vision for DC Studios is quite dramatic and a departure from the Snyderverse projects in the past. However, other reports from insiders claim that Ezra Miller might not be on the chopping block for DC Studios after all. The rumors were so strong online that James Gunn had to take to his own Twitter account to clarify the rumors. Gunn noted that the plans that he has with Safran are not connected with decisions coming down from Warner Bros. Discovery executives. Hopefully him and Safran announcing plans for their DC projects will quiet down those rumors. Personally, Ezra Miller carries too much baggage and there are plenty of talented actors out there to take his place. I took an excerpt from an article from Variety magazine, and two notable characters were left off the official DC message to fans when concerning the new direction. It goes as follows: as 2023 kicks off, DC bosses Gunn and Safran continue to sift through the rubble and will soon reveal their 3-year interconnected vision for the cinematic universe, which won't include Cavill's Superman or Wonder Woman at all. So this is all major news, and I think it's notable that the two most powerful superheroes of DC lore are being left off in the short term. Wonder Woman and Superman are godlike heroes, and I think this change is done on purpose to focus on more grounded characters. I think Safran and Gunn will emphasize more of that real world conflict with less of the bigger characters. Sort of like how Marvel held back on Spider-Man and introducing the Avengers. Rather, they began humbly with Iron Man in 2008 and slowly trickled in all the MCU lore that we all know now today. DC Studios might be looking for that humble beginning to their cinematic universe. This means a DC character without powers is more likely to be seen first than a Superman or Wonder Woman solo film. Start sharing your dream castings in the comment section below. James Gunn and Peter Safran have both discussed in the past how their plan is an 8 and 10 year plan versus what DC has been doing in the past. I think that Superman probably will not be the major focus, at least for the first major of a couple of films, and if he is, I think you're going to have more of the humble beginnings rather than the big spectacle that we saw in probably Man of Steel or even in Batman vs Superman. Before I give my final thoughts, I'd like for you to give this video a thumbs up and hit that like button. Drop a sub and help me get that subscribers number going up. James Gunn also responded to a user's previous question on social media and said he's already working with his friend Jim Lee. Jim Lee is the current creative officer for DC Comics. With James Gunn and Lee working together, what kind of changes could we see in the movies moving forward? This new synergy between both movies and the comics will be important for fans. I would appreciate whenever any director does respect the source material, and I think the stringing of the two forms of media together, getting them to gel ideas back and forth, really helps the franchise overall. It's going to be a very awkward transition from this current run of DC movies into the James Gunn movies. Everything that we're going to see in 2023 was already shot and filmed years prior. Shazam! Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, all these projects are all scheduled for a release, and after all these movies release, I think that'll be it for most of these characters. I hope they maintain Blue Beetle because, well, I think the character is very unique, and it's not really needed for a recasting at this point. There are also reports in the past that Jason Momoa is no longer going to be playing Aquaman, but rather will be recast into a different DC character. My money, and I think everybody's money, is on Lobo. I think he would fit that character very, very well. But share in the comments you guys' thoughts on all of this stuff that's happened in the DC Studios. James Gunn has certainly taken things off to a rocky start over at DC Studios, but I think he's got the right idea when it comes down to cutting out the bad batch from the good ones. Peter Safran is out there making the decisions too, so I can't leave his name out of the discussion. But these two new heads of DC Studios are expected to announce their plans soon. I look forward to the future of DC Studios, whatever it looks like, and hopefully DC fans can enjoy future projects from DC Studios, much like MCU fans can enjoy the Marvel Studios projects that we see now. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope you stuck around long enough to drop a like. If you did subscribe, tell me in the comments below. And share your thoughts on topics like this one and others by clicking on the right side of your screen. I appreciate your support, and this has been Joel from Real Talk Movies. See you soon.